My name is Maya Gatt, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Branching Minds. Branching Minds is an educational technology company that's based in New York City in the United States of America. And we were lucky and grateful to be awarded the Netexplo Award for Digital Innovation in the field of educational technology in the year 2015. Now, I am not a technologist. I never expected to be a technologist or an entrepreneur, an innovator at all, really. I was a classroom teacher by trade and ultimately found that there were barriers inhibiting my ability to be the most effective classroom teacher I could be. And those barriers lived in technology, right? That there were I knew that technology could help me solve some of the problems that were inhibiting me from being able to easily connect with my colleagues, to having transparency as to all the different work that we're doing, to be able to create efficiencies so that we could be spending our time actually supporting students as opposed to doing all of this work with the documentation and things that felt like they could be streamlined with advancements that I was seeing in technology in other fields that weren't necessarily being applied in education. So I had a kind of funny way into this world of tech in that I was a user with a problem and waited for a long time for other folks who I thought would be more qualified to solve that problem for me, folks with an MBA, folks with a background in business or innovation, folks with a tech degree of any kind, really. I didn't have any particular qualifications other than I felt this pain very acutely and had mission and passion to solve this problem. And so I went out to find the technologists and other folks who were able to help me to build a solution that would help teachers be able to understand all of the different needs that learners have and be able to differentiate our responses to support them in targeted and effective ways while streamlining the process so that teachers could save time and direct that energy back towards their students. Absolutely. I believe it already does. In my experience, technology has helped us in the world of education to be able to break down silos, better collaborate, which allows us to have other perspectives and dimensions in thinking, to understand this is how I see the student, but here's how other folks see the student. And that can really broaden my understanding and sharpen my insights, which then translate to how I approach that student and how I support that student. Extending to their families, extending to their communities, right? In my experience, being able to have that ability to collaborate means that we're able to align our efforts and amplify the work that we do, as opposed to very often working in these sort of silos where we're working at odds with each other without being able to even know what one person is doing is impacting the others when we're all working towards shared goals, right? So I think that there's a lot of incredible power that technology provides in those domains, but also I would say in the ability to create efficiencies and to provide data analyses and to be able to give us the information that we need so that humans can do what humans do best, which is to be creative and to problem solve and to connect with each other. So if we have the time to be able to do those things because technology is helping us to take some of the burden that those things, the time requirements of those things often used to take, then we are just more capable, more powerful, and have more energy to put towards the things that we should be putting our energy towards. So yes, in the world of education, absolutely, technology can change our society in a myriad of ways. I mean, I would say that in my experience, I had a master's in education. I was a classroom teacher. I did not have the typical skills that you would expect of an entrepreneur, of an innovator, of a technologist, of the future CEO of a company that supports over 1 million students. Right? Those were not skills that I started this journey with. Those were skills that I accessed through researching, through reading articles and tutorials, through teaching myself through technology, through finding mentors and folks who I admired and reaching out to them to make connections through technology, right? That in so many ways, if you have access to tech, if you have access to that technology, then it can be such an incredible democratizer. If you have those skills by which you can leverage technology, then again, it can be such a great democratizer. I believe that technology is also an incredible tool for solving our problems. Obviously, I used technology to create branching minds to be able to solve problems that I had as a classroom teacher. So I think that it is incredibly powerful as a tool. I think it is really a question of, do we have the skills we need in order to leverage that tool? Do we have the access we need in order to leverage that tool? And then do we have the wherewithal to go after leveraging it? Don't discount yourself based on your CV, right? Don't say that the experiences that you've had can inform what you are capable of achieving. As a classroom teacher, I wouldn't hire me as a CEO. I wouldn't look at my resume and say, oh yeah, she knows what it's going to take to be a CEO. But as a classroom teacher, I had all of the skills I needed to become a CEO, right? I had all of the ability to think critically, to build relationships, to communicate effectively, to set goals and create strategic plans to attain them. All of those skills are applicable. They're transferable. So one of the things that I feel like I wish I had heard much earlier on was that I am capable of doing all of these things, regardless of what background or professional degrees I had. That it really just took the gumption to go after it. So that's what I would share. Have that gumption. Go after it.